Hello, Erica here, and yes, I'm going to be wearing this same exact look for about 10 videos in a row because I'm too lazy to change it. Today I have a list of recommendations to read in springtime because spring is upon us. It's finally feeling like spring here in North Carolina. It's taken a little while longer than normal, though I guess I can't complain because at least I'm not still buried under snow. Without further ado, the first book I want to talk about is The Hen Who Dreamed She Could Fly by Sunmi Wang. I read this recently, and this is kind of a fable about a hen who's trapped in the coop and decides to escape and live on her own. Along the way, she adopts kind of an ugly duckling, and they just try to tough it out on their own. It's really beautiful. I recommend it for spring because it's set in nature. It's a short and light read, and I just think there's a lot to get out of this, and probably a lot more than you would expect in so few pages. The next book I have is one of my favorite books of all time, but one I rarely talk about on my channel, and that is A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. This is the story of two young boys. One is Owen Meany, the other is Johnny Wheelwright, and it's about their friendship from a young age. At the very beginning, tragedy strikes them and kind of haunts them throughout their lives. John Irving is really great at kind of these coming-of-age stories and these pictures of kind of small-town life, and that is what A Prayer for Owen Meany is all about. I think that this would be great for spring because it's really immersive and the characters are so well developed. It's just a great book, and it's a little big. It's just like, it's a great book to curl up with outdoors, like on a picnic blanket. That's what I think. Maybe I'll reread this soon. Anyway, I love this book to pieces, and I just think anyone should read it no matter what time of year it is, but I think it will be especially great this time of year. Next, I have some nonfiction, and this is The Story of a Happy Marriage by Ann Patchett. I really loved this book when I read it, and this is a series of essays that Ann Patchett wrote about writing and about her life, and they're really beautiful, and I think that springtime is kind of a time of renewal and a time to kind of turn inward and self-reflect, and I think that this book will encourage you to do that. Some of my favorite stories were This Dog's Life, On Responsibility, and Fact versus Fiction. And also, this is The Story of a Happy Marriage, the title essay. Anyway, these are fantastic. I've never read any of Ann Patchett's fiction, but I love this book. Next, I have another coming-of-age novel, but this is kind of a classic YA coming-of-age. This is I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. And this is a really beautiful story about a 17-year-old girl who's living with her family in like this old, rundown estate. And she's just kind of growing into herself and learning about love and life. And it's beautiful. It's so good. There's not much you can say about it. It's kind of along the lines of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, but a totally different setting. Sort of. Except she's a little bit older. Nope. Ignore that. It's not the same at all. Lastly, I have some poetry, and I have picked out William Carlos Williams' selected poems. I really like William Carlos Williams. You probably know all about The Red Wheelbarrow and The Plums in the Icebox, but there's a lot more to him than that, and he certainly writes longer poems than that. And a lot of his poems are set around nature and the beauty to be found in nature, so I think that this would be a really delightful read, again, to curl up with on a picnic blanket this spring. If you have any good books that you like to particularly read this time of year that you think would go well with the season, let me know in the comments, and I will see you all next time. Bye!